this is Inspired RC and welcome to another video. Guys, we've got the X-MAXX on the bench, and I know I did say in my previous video with this X-MAXX that we're ready for a bashing session to test out the new mod I put in there to protect the center drive shaft. But unfortunately we had some issues, and I will just quickly explain what's happened and why I wasn't able to take this out, and I did end up taking the EXB out instead. So on the morning of the bash, I had the batteries all ready, had everything ready on my tools, everything, and just before we were going to go out for the bash, the postman arrived and I did receive a replacement fan that I ordered for the motor on this X-MAXX, and I thought to myself, it's probably better for me just to quickly change the fan. I didn't think it's going to take too long, so I thought quickly change the fan, make sure my fans are working fine so I don't have any overheating issues or anything like that. So got it on the bench, got it apart, and getting to the fan is tricky. It's not the easiest thing to do, but I did manage to end up changing that fan out, and I did actually break 3 of the 5 blades. I think there's 5 blades in that fan. 3 of them blades were broken, so one of the fans were barely working at all. So it's a good job in the end that I did replace the fan on there. But to replace the fan, I had to remove the motor because the fan itself is attached to the motor heatsink by screws, and he just couldn't get to them screws without taking the motor out, sorry. So I took the motor out, took the cover off the pinion and the spur, and I replaced the fan and everything. And I thought I'll just quickly check over the spur and pinion now that I can see it, make sure everything's hunky-dory. As I said, we were going to go out for a bash anyway. So this is the spur. And guys, just there, you can see we've got a broken tooth. I thought to myself, it might not take too long. I've got a broken tooth. Should I leave it or should I go out for a bash? And then I decided, you know what? I've got it apart. I've got the motor out as well now. Let's remove the spur. I've got the stock high-speed 46 tooth pinion, spur that I can put straight into this, and I'll just reset the motor because it's loose anyway, and we'll have a high-speed car, and we will be able to give the center brace a good thorough testing as well. And also with the fact that I've got a full set of working fans as well, I thought, why not? So anyway, I ended up removing this spur and I put the 46 tooth in there, put everything back together again. I thought I'll just quickly give it a quick test on the street just to make sure everything's working before I go out for the bash. Put batteries in, took it outside, went up the street. It was alright. I started off a bit slow. On the way back down, I said, you know what, I just want to make sure that this thing is fast now. So pull the trigger, and within 2 seconds of me pulling the trigger, I just heard a load of crunching. Took it inside, and I thought, I can't open it up right now because we're going out for the bash, and luckily the EXB was ready for a bash and I did have the batteries charged, so I ended up taking the EXB out. So when I did end up coming back from that bash, opened the X-MAXX up, took the cover off it, and lo and behold, this is what I saw. The pinion had just exploded. A better way to say it. Unfortunately, I don't have a spare pinion for the Traxxas. I've not had to buy any parts for this X-MAXX since I've had it. Anything that I have purchased for it, I've bought as an addition, like the light bars and the roof skid plate. But other than that, I've not had to buy any spare parts. I've not broken anything. I've not broken an arm, a hub, or anything. I did change the bearings just because the shields for some of the bearings had come away. Rather than to be safe than sorry, just get some rubber sealed ones and replace them. So guys, I don't have a spare pinion, so I thought we'll have to order some parts in. So I went online and I ordered some parts, got some here. So this is now the new pinion. This is a hardened steel Traxxas owned pinion, and that's the model number that you need. So it starts TRX, obviously it's not on there, 6491R, and this is your 18 tooth pinion, and it comes with a grub screw. So really happy with that. It looks just like the stock one, just it should be tougher. So got that in, so happy with that. And then rooting through the parcel, I also ordered some spurs, and what I thought was hardened steel spurs, because they are black in color. So this is a 54 and that's a 46 there. And wherever I checked online, it was saying the model number, the item number is 6449 for the 54, 6447. So I ordered it, and it arrived with me, and I took it out of the parcel, and I thought, there's no weight to it. So then I realized that these are actually plastic, and they've actually advertised these as X-MAXX spur gears because it's the same size as the, I think it's the E-Revo, I don't know which model it is, one of the E-Revos. So I was just shocked. So anyway, they're no good, and the reason why I got it wrong is these model numbers are exactly the same for the steel one and the plastic one. The only difference is the letter at the end. If you have an X at the end, that's the steel version, and if you don't, I can't remember what the letter was at the end of this one, but if it hasn't got the X on the end, then you're going to end up getting the plastic ones. So anyway, they're no good. They're not going to last a second in my X-MAXX, so they'll be going in the bin. But today's video is about this here, guys. This is the first 2-part center brace protection mod available in the UK. Up till now, things like these have been only available in the US, and obviously if you're in the UK, it takes forever for anything to come from abroad. So China, US, the same, to be honest with you. But this is the first one that's been designed and is going to be sold in the UK. It will be sold to international customers as well. This has been designed by Liam from LST3D, and he is the person that's behind all of my 3D printed parts that I've got installed, especially on my EXB. Those roof rails I've got on there, I've got a nose guard, mud guards, bumper inserts as well. All of them have been superb. The quality has been top notch. So guys, I'm not expecting any less from this as well. So this is, quickly show you, this is the more important part. Guys, check it out. Look how flexible that is. So guys, the reason why this is flexible, because we want this brace, this center drive shaft, to flex when you're out bashing. We don't want it to bend, we want it to flex. So the more flex we've got, the better. But obviously you don't want too much flex as well, because you want to be able to drive that motor. So this, I'm hoping, is the ultimate center drive shaft mod. And check how smooth that action is with that bearing sat in the middle there. Superb. Top work, Liam. So this is the UK version. I did also, before we designed and made this center brace happen, I did end up ordering one from the US. So I have got that with me, and it did arrive me. It did take a good few weeks for it to arrive, but it did arrive with me. And I just want to show you the difference between the UK one, you can see there with all the holes in there, and the US one that's currently available. So this is the center part, and guys, check it out. It's completely solid, and it's really hard. There's no flex in that whatsoever. So not too happy with the way that they've designed this. With it not flexing, it will mean that that center brace could push on the diffs rather than bending and doing all of that, or it can just bend and you start hearing the clicking noise. So that's the difference. Show you that. That's the UK one, and this one, guys, will be available very soon. Currently this is a prototype that's been sent to me for testing, but guys, I've got high hopes for this, and this is a mod that it's a no-brainer. Definitely a no-brainer. Now I do have that tunnel that I've got installed in there. It'll take me 2 seconds to remove that. I haven't managed to bash it, so I don't know how good it is, but the reports that I was getting were quite mixed. And to be honest with you guys, I don't want to compromise my diffs because I've got the wrong mod in my center brace. I'd rather not have a mod in there at all and have the center drive shaft bend than have the tunnel and or have something like this installed that's going to compromise my diffs. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to install this. And to install this, we are going to need to split the chassis apart and split the front end from the rear end, and it'll just be a case of sliding it in. It's only a few screws and it's not really difficult at all, guys. So what I'll do is just get my bench all cleared up and get the car in a better place, and I'll be back with you shortly and we'll show you how to do this. Okay, so first we're going to remove this center skid plate, and to remove this center skid plate, 8 screws. Just get my pointer. Do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remove them, and then this should just pop off. So quickly get that done. Always a good idea, guys, to magnetize your bits, and just simple case of using a simple magnet. So this is a magnetic dart from my kids' toys. I just find it's ideal. Just run it up and down, and that's now magnetized. I try and use the electric driver just to remove screws, and when I'm actually putting the screws back, I'll try and use my hand tools. If I use the electric driver, it'll just be to get the screw in most of the way, then I'll finish it off with the hand tool. And especially with these Traxxas, everything is plastic, so you don't want to be over tightening and stripping out the screws, guys. So that's that done. It should just be a case of lifting it off, and there's that center tunnel that I had installed initially, and now we've got this to go in instead. So we've got the double brace now, and the whole thing should sit in this section here. So guys, next I think we're going to whip it over now, and we're going to remove the screws from the front here, holding this front part to the center. So I'll get that done quickly, whip it over, and I'm back with you shortly. Okay, so now we've got to remove 8 screws from the top here to release the front from the middle. So the 8 screws that we need to remove are 1 here, and the same on the other side, 2. And then let me just get you so you can see better. Just in here you've got 2 there. Same on the opposite side. I've just got my right there, so we've just got 1 there, and then this one here. And then we've got 2 here, just on the side of the receiver. 1 on both sides. Once that's done, then we just need to release this screw here that's holding the steering linkage in place. Once that's removed, the whole of the front should then pop out. Now I have got my LED light kit installed here. I could probably remove it and do what I need to do without having to unclip all of this stuff here, but if that doesn't work and I do need to unclip it, it's not hard, it's just a couple of cable ties. But yeah, that's the only difference you'll see from my car to a standard X-MAXX. So guys, I'm going to get them removed quickly. Right guys, now all the screws are out. It should just be a case of pulling it apart. Just get my stuff out of the way. Oh, there we go. And we'll just turn it over. Right, okay. You do need to apply a little bit of force to remove, to split it apart. Yeah, so that's my current center drive shaft. And now guys, this is the new one. So what we're going to do first is let's pop that in there, and I'm not sure if it needs to be on this side or that side, so we'll just check, pop this in and see if this fits. Right, so that one's too long there. I think it might be the smaller one. Okay guys, so now I've got the shorter part of the two-piece system. So just show you here, you've got two lengths there. So you've got a shorter one and a longer one. The shorter one goes in the rear end. So to do this, you need to make sure that this 3D printed part is already installed inside. Slide the shaft in and make sure the bearing with this coupler here is already installed as well, and you can just push it all in. And then on this side here, it's just a case of pushing it in, make sure it's seated properly. And then guys, it's just a case of sliding the two things back together again. So I'll just do this upside down like it is. You might need to turn the wheels to get it lined up with that side, and it should just click in like that. Once it's clicked in, it'll be okay for you to start going ahead and putting all the screws and everything back in. But just for our sake, we just want to make sure everything's working, so it's all spinning nice and freely. What I might do at this stage is just saves me having to flip it back over again. Goes on this way, and this skid plate here is going to hold all this in place, and this area at the top here should allow it to flex up with a bit. And you can see if I just lift there from this side, you can see how much flex there is in there now. So that's what we're looking for guys. And I don't know if you can see clearly, there is a tiny gap on both sides, so it allows it just to flex that a little bit more. So guys, I'm gonna stick this back on. Just a case of banging it down. Then you got your 8 screws, lock them back in, and then I'll get it spun over and we'll put the remaining screws back in as well. And we'll make sure everything's okay. So guys, I'll get that done off camera and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay guys, I've managed to button it all up, bar the steering linkage. And the reason why, I just want to quickly show you, it can be a bit tricky trying to get this steering linkage and everything back in again. So literally all I do is a set of long nose pliers. I'll grab this linkage here, and the other part, you can see when I turn the wheel, get the camera out of the way, you can see it move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it turned so it's moving out of the way. And then it's just a case of lifting this up and then turning the wheel and just trying to get it all to sit properly. And it's a bit of a trial and error, this one guys. You've just got to play with it a bit. It should just seat itself. There we go. So we've got it in now, and now all I'm going to do is line it up. So I'll use another driver and I'll just line the holes up if I can. There we go. So that's in now. Once you've got it in, just a case of putting the screw in now, and definitely use hand driver for this bit. And tighten it up as much as you dare. Right guys, that's on. She's all done. Just quickly show you at the back here, I've got the cover off the motor. So there you can see we've got the spare and it's still all good. That's the 46 tooth, and then we've got the shaft which is missing its pinion. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'll get that done off camera. It's very simple. Put the pinion on and make sure the grub screw has got Loctite on it, and you definitely leave it to cure for a good little while before you do take this out for any kind of bashing. So guys, that's my ultimate center brace mod, and if you have got this center brace mod installed on your car, then I don't think you're going to have any issues in the future. So well worth doing. So big shout out to Liam from LST3D for printing out and making this center brace mod happen, and also allowing us lot in the UK access to such a mod. Really grateful for that, Liam. Thank you very much, pal. So guys, if you found this video helpful, useful and informative, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Next we're going to get the pinion installed, and then we're definitely going to get this out for a durability test. So guys, as I said, it's been a pleasure, and until the next time, see ya.